Coming to you from the studios at the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum on Route 66, it's the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast.
Rock and roll Chicago, rock and roll Chicago, my hometown. Well, I was born in the city, gonna rock the city, Chicago. Chicago rock and rollers are the best here around.
Hey everybody, it's Ray the Roadie.
And this here is Hollywood Mike.
Hello, Hollywood Mike. How are you this evening?
I'm doing real good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just finished my burger from next door.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Already.
It's
You're going to be able to tell in a few minutes for sure.
Pretty spicy burger, I take it.
The
Time for a
burger.
station break. Yeah?
The Inferno burger.
Try the fries.
It was covered in pepper jack cheese and jalapenos and a whole sauteed jalapeno.
Oh damn! Let's go in there.
Stuck to the top of the thing.
Let's go get some Rolaids for you.
Little ice cream afterwards takes care of that.
All righty.
Go home, do a little cold water dab.
There we go. So let's not waste any more time. Tonight's guests are the JAD and Shaggy Trio. How you guys doing?
Good.
Good. It's actually pronounced JAD.
It's JAD?
So it is JAD.
Oh, it is JAD because it was all capital letters.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
it's just he wants to.
That's I want to make sure you know it's my name.
The JAD.
Okay.
All right. So is that what it is? It's somebody's initials? Is that how
It's
that
mine.
came about?
It's mine. It's
yours.
mine. It's mine,
Okay. Gotcha. Excellent. Well, what about this poor guy over here? He doesn't get represented any kind of way?
Oh, Flash!
Here,
Just
save your syllables, kid. Save your syllables.
Yeah.
Me, I'm the drummer in the band.
Oh, okay. That explains. Just they give him no credit.
No
That's
credit,
what it
There you
is.
no.
go.
Yeah.
I'm known as Trio. Yeah.
You're the
trio. Okay.
I'm Jad. He's Shaggy. That's the trio.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Enough said.
Okay. Is in tripod?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another word. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Oh boy. So tell us about yourselves. Tell us about the JAD and Shaggy Trio.
Oh,
Wow.
what's the best way we can put it?
Let's see.
In English.
No, he'll tell you in Spanish. You want to be not clear about that. Yeah?
JAD and I have been doing music now for 16 years. We kind of got together when he tried to run me over with his car one day.
Still trying.
Okay.
No,
All right.
just kidding. At that, he and I went to high school years ago. And I dropped out of school.
I graduated, by the way.
Okay.
I dropped out of school. I went to Puerto Rico for a few years. I came back. Eventually I went back to school, went to college. I got on a website for classmates, finding out where my friends were. I ran into somebody with his last name.
My wife. My wife and him were members. I was not. I'm in the living room watching cartoons. She comes out and says, "Yeah, do you know this guy?" At first, I said no. Then the cobwebs cleared out in the back of my brain. And I said, "Oh, wait a minute, I remember him now." And then him and I met at a Martin's gas station a couple days later, week later. It was just like those 23 years didn't happen. It just resumed where we left off.
That's where I like to meet people I haven't seen in a while at a gas station.
It's usually the best place. The fumes kind of.
Yeah. And you mentioned that conversation. Hey, you want to hook up? Want to meet? Yeah. How about the gas station?
Gas station.
Hey, you want to go pump some ethyl?
I want unleaded. I'm sorry.
I pumped ethyl back in high school. She wasn't that fun.
So, John and I.
That's when I tried to run him over at the gas station.
At the gas station.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you were using diesel. You used a truck.
Say that again.
You used diesel. It was a truck.
Just want to make sure he heard him on that.
Okay.
So we got together. We started reminiscing. He took me over to his crib, and he showed me this room with the walls of guitars. And I said, "Yeah." And I said, "Hey, do you play?" And he
I
says,
said no.
I said, no. He said,
I
no,
could play three chords on the guitar back then. That's it.
He says, "I collect."
I collect. None of them were tuned, by the way. He took one down. Oh my God. It's like they couldn't do tuned.
Yeah. So I asked him. I said, "Hey, do you mind if I play one?" And I said, "Yeah." So I grabbed.
I told him
one.
to play them all.
I tuned it. I started playing. He kind of was in shock, and so I guess. He says I influenced the music in him to come back out, and he asked if I wanted to start something. I had already been in a band with someone for 20 some odd years. I was also doing solo stuff. So, and I like doing music. So when he brought it up, I said, yeah, we'll give it a shot. You know, he explained that he didn't know too much. And I said, look, I can show you a few tricks that are easy, you know, and it's been like that for 16 years.
Make a long story short, I couldn't play bar chords on the guitar because of a football injury back in grammar school. Anyway, he suggested I had 3 basses. I had a European style Hofner bass. It wasn't a Hofner, it was a knockoff. He suggested I play the bass, so I took up that, and I actually play better guitar now thanks to him. But yeah, that's why I'm the bass player in the group for the most part.
You know, isn't that the way it goes all the time? You know, it's like
it's the bass player who can't play guitar, right?
The bass player,
of course.
The bass player in the band's usually always the worst guitar player.
Yeah, right, of course.
So what was this?
But the bass player is usually the best singer.
What was this 20-year band you were in before you guys hooked up?
I was with a classmate of mine back in high school. We never could get out of his house though, because he was still shy about performing in front of people. But he helped me to master my playing. Mm-hmm. We wrote songs together. If I didn't write them by myself and he didn't write them, we usually wrote songs together. That was a very odd combination. We were sort of like McCartney and Lennon in the sense that we didn't add on to anybody's words. What it was is I came with some music and he would bring the lyrics. And sometimes it was vice versa. Mm-hmm. Like one time I brought some lyrics and he said, oh, you know what? I've been working on this. And he showed me this music, you know. Later on in the 90s, we kind of, it was better than when we started. We did do a couple of songs where we played off each other. You know, sometimes it was off his music or off of mine, but we did get to do a song where we played off lyrics. Mm-hmm. One of the songs that we play a lot is called Day. It's usually our signature song. And that one came where I had music and I was showing it to my buddy because since he had heard almost every rock song there is, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't subconsciously stealing from somebody. Mm-hmm. So I would show him, you know, and then he came up with some lyrics. And then I came up with some lyrics and it just kept going, you know. Another song that we do, it was, again, music. I showed it to him. He brought me all he did was sing the chorus. And after that, the song came to life. I was able to come up with the lyrics with JAD and I. He showed me these lyrics that he said he wrote. I would look at him and go ask him permission to reconstruct it if I have to. I would take it home and look for some type of rhythm pattern in it.
What he's illustrating is the fact that him and I write like Elton John and Bernie Taupin, but I email him lyrics. Okay. In the beginning, I write music a little now, and then he would take my lyrics and put it to music. And then the next time I see him, he'd take out the guitar and show me what he came up with. And I kid you not, 99.9% of the time, I love what he did with it. And he sometimes changed my words a little bit, but most of the time he left it alone.
Yeah, but this the guy you were with for 20, you guys never performed out.
No, when I came back from Puerto Rico, I went, you know, I tried to see if I could get him to leave the house.
Right.
I still couldn't get, you know, some friends of my brother told me about a coffee house that there was, and they said, you should go. And I said, okay. And so I started to perform there. But even though I was by myself, I still considered myself to be part of the team of my friend that I was, you know, because even during that time, I was still writing new songs with him and I was going out there and I was performing them. And one of the great things that I saw was the audience was starting to sing along, even from the first time that they would hear my song. So I would go back to him and say, man, you don't know what you're missing.
So when you're saying you couldn't get him out of the house, you physically couldn't get him out of the house?
The problem was I couldn't talk him to perform in front of people.
Oh.
He could perform in front of his family with no problem.
Right.
But he still had this thing of performing in front of
Jeez, and
people.
that's harder to do. You know, sometimes performing in front of your family, because your family doesn't hold back.
No.
You know, strangers are going to be very kind and gentle, but families, you suck.
Well,
No.
I have.
My grandmother kind of was like that. Sometimes I would take my guitar and play on the porch when I lived in Puerto Rico. And I'm a rock and roll musician. So she would always look at me and go, "Don't you know anything in Spanish?"
Yeah.
You know, and then I would I sometimes do it with John. I'd play a 3-chord, dun 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 dun.
He still does that today.
Yeah. But I do that. I did that to mess with her sometimes. But the one thing I loved about my grandmother was, regardless that I couldn't play Spanish for her, she encouraged me to continue doing what I do.
Right.
You know, I've been doing music for over 35 years. I still don't have that Grammy that I deserve, but the fact is that my grandmother, she continued to encourage me to do so, and so I do. When I ran into John after so many years since high school, you know, he gets frustrated with himself, but I try to encourage him to continue on. Don't give it up. If you love doing this,
That's why I'm here today.
Keep at it.
Did you guys ever record any of that stuff that you wrote?
Well, not with him.
He's recorded some of that stuff with me.
Yeah,
you.
a lot of the
Okay.
songs that I've written with my other partner and myself, I have done with JAD.
Okay.
One of the oldest songs that we do is called How Does a Boy? And I wrote that back in 87 before I turned 21. And that's the oldest song of any of the original stuff that we do.
So when did you come into the mix?
It's been about 2 years now, right?
Something like that.
Something like that. April of.
Decided they needed a drummer.
No, actually,
We always need a drummer.
well, actually, what it is Flash and I stay at a YMCA in Chicago.
Okay.
And I was relocated to the one that we're at right now.
Okay.
And there was this pain in the butt that lived in the building. He was telling me about Roger, if I knew him. But I said, no, I've never heard of the guy. And so one day I ran into him and we were talking about music. And out of the blue, I invited him to come join JAD and I for an open mic. And he sat in on the drums, you know, and it went from there.
Okay. So you weren't really looking for a drummer
No, we
or
weren't
anything. It
looking
just kind of worked out that way.
Yeah, but see, because JAD and I belonged formerly to a band already called Class Reunion.
Okay.
We had a drummer,
Yeah, we went to high school with him, which is where the name came from.
All right. Right.
you know, but at the time we weren't, you know, I just invited Flash to come and he said, yeah. And we've been doing this together for 2 years. We've had a really good year though. This year alone, we've done we did a lot of gigs that I didn't expect to do.
Right.
You know.
So how long ago was it? When did you guys meet at the gas station?
2007.
Okay, so that was about 2007.
Yeah,
right? And then
In 2009, we formed Class Union with the drummer. Actually, he lived in Knoxville, Tennessee.
wow. Okay.
Put his drum kit in his car, drove all the way to Chicago, assembled it in my garage, and the three of us started playing.
Okay.
And then we were playing, and after about 2 or 3 hours of making all this racket, the drummer's name was Dave. He said we should form a band. And we were coming up with all these weird names, and he's the one that coined
what funny
Class
was-
Union, because that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, what was funny
right.
was I said, you know, I looked at Dave and I said, you know, this is a real Class Reunion because JAD and I and Dave, we were in the same art class together.
And
So-
Shaggy and I also had history together too. So
Wow. Okay. Okay. So how long did this guy continue to commute from Nashville?
Only for what, about a year or
only
so?
about a year. He lives here now.
Okay, he does.
Because
Okay.
he moved there for whatever reason, but he would come back to Chicago for Cubs games. I mean,
Okay.
he would half the season he's here.
Oh wow.
He's
okay.
divorced now,
Okay.
and I think that's why. But, you know.
That could be a reason for it.
Yeah.
So I'm just, man, how often did he come back to Chicago just to jam? And,
Man.
half a dozen times, but then
Yeah.
Shaggy and I actually went out to Knoxville because he had a nice studio with his home drum set. And
Gotcha, okay.
We actually recorded
Yeah.
some stuff out there too.
wow, that's a long distance band relationship.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the gal from Indiana was
or the brother from Green Bay.
or the brother that came from Green Bay.
Right,
Yeah, but
right.
geez.
Oh, you can leave the brother away. I have a brother. I can leave him there. Okay?
No, we had a band here. There was they were a trio, and the two brothers. One lived here, one lived in Green Bay.
Oh, okay.
He actually
Wow.
came
Yeah,
down
yeah.
here for the podcast, and then went home that night.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Yeah. No, yeah. Dave lived in Tennessee for a while, and then when he moved out here, we got together more often. We have done a few gigs with Dave.
Right.
I don't believe, at least I'm not quite sure, that we've done as many gigs with Dave in the last 15 years that we've done with Flash in this 1 year alone.
Wow. Okay.
wow.
So you guys have been together for a little while. I mean, just kind of different combinations have been together for a little while.
The other thing about this band that people should know is that we're not your typical 3-piece band.
Okay.
He actually plays a fourth piece, believe it or not.
All right.
Flash and I are multi-instrumentalists.
Okay.
I'm a little bit.
So we tend to switch off in the middle of our shows. And the fact is that because John and I had discussed this, and this was something that I had with my other bandmate, nobody is to stick out. So
we all stick out.
So yeah, so
Instead.
so JAD and I traded lead vocals all this time. When we got Flash in here, he's as a singer. So now in our shows, when we do our set lists, we make sure that everybody is seen and doing what we do. We all at least sing. We all play instruments. Sometimes JAD and I will switch from guitar and bass. Flash and I will switch guitar and drums and whatever, and we do that.
And we also like to do 3-part harmony, so which is
Okay.
when we all do. I think we do all pretty well.
Nice.
Yeah.
In other words, I'm a singing drummer.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Well,
More like a singing telegram, but anyway.
and the music is all original.
Most of it is.
Yeah, we
Okay.
do covers too.
All right.
Yeah, but we try to keep it original because I explained to them, I am not a cover artist. I write my own songs. I don't mind doing cover songs for live.
I'm in the same boat as him.
Right.
For live performances, but I am
Of
an
all
original
the things him and I don't agree on, that's one thing we do agree on.
So you guys didn't bring any guitars or anything?
Yes.
with
Yes,
you?
Oh, they
yes,
did.
we did.
Did you? Oh,
I
they
was going to
did.
say. I was going to say. Why don't they get their stuff together? Get their stuff together, and we'll be right back.
Sounds good.
You're listening to the Rock and Roll Chicago Podcast.
Hi, I'm Rick Anthony. I'd like to thank my radio brothers, Ray the Roadie and Hollywood Mike, for allowing me to tell you about my podcast, the Someone You Should Know podcast. We spotlight musicians, authors, and interesting people, and we like to say we're making a difference one artist at a time. The podcast is heard twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays, and you can check it out on your favorite streaming platforms and on the web at someoneyoushouldknowpodcast.com. That's the Someone You Should Know podcast with me, Rick Anthony, making a difference one artist at a time.
I'm Christy from Crime Cave Podcast. I've had a huge interest in true crime since my days of watching marathons of Snapped back in the mid-90s. I needed an outlet to talk about the cases that have haunted me for a very long time. With each episode under 20 minutes, I shine a light on some of the most bizarre cases in the last 50 years. Join me in the Crime Cave.
What's the name of this song?
What do you want to do?
You guys want a cover or an original?
Original.
You want to go with Day?
Yeah, okay.
The song is called. The song is called
it's
Day.
It's called Day.
Day.
Right.
Like DAY.
Yes.
D-A-Y, yeah.
All right. And here is the JAD and Shaggy Trio with their original song called Day.
Day, such a fine, fine day. I go down to the market, I don't know how to say. Today, fine day. I come from the market to say. Going to the market, nothing in my pocket. Open up your locket, nothing much to say. Meet a senorita, her name is Margarita. Really glad to meet her, nothing much to say. Today, such a fine, fine day. Well, I can't find the market. I don't know, I lost my way. Fine day. Today, such a fine day. Fine day. Well, I can't find the market. Think I go by the bay. Fine day. Going to the playa, eating some papaya, meet a girl named Maya. Oh, what a day. Feeling kind of lazy. People say I'm crazy. Man, this day is hazy. Oh, what a day. Uno. Such a fine day. Dos. Such a fine day. Tres. Such a fine day. Cuatro. Going to the playa, eating some papaya, meet a girl named Maya. Oh, what a day. Feeling kind of lazy. People say I'm crazy. Man, this day is hazy. Oh, what a day. Today, such a fine day. Fine day. I go home from the market. I don't have much to say. Fine day. Today, such a fine day. Fine day. I go home from the market. I don't have much to pay. Such a fine day. Talking to my father, man, that man can holler. Man, he's such a bother. What a crazy day. Talking to my mother, she tells me I'm my brother. Had myself another. What a crazy day today. Such a fine day. Such a fine day. Such a fine day.
All right, very nice.
Thank you.
You know, I think your grandmother was wrong because you might not be singing anything in Spanish, but you're definitely playing in Spanish.
I think it's part of my heritage.
Oh, of course.
I tell a lot of people I don't have any particular style because my strumming is different than most. Like, for instance, when I learned 8 Days a Week by the Beatles, it's the first Beatles song and complete song that I ever learned on guitar, and I still play it today. But I don't do all the strumming that's supposed to be done the way I saw it on the tablatures. Because what I find, and I feel kind of weird to say, is it seems that my strumming hand seems to be singing along with me. So when I play, you kind of can hear sort of like a singing method in the way that I strum. And it depends on really the song, because there are times where I can do straight stuff, other than that, it's more like, just a, little.
And believe it or not, my bass playing is based on his guitar playing. So I instead of playing what a regular bass player would play, I actually follow the rhythm guitar player. So like when we play 8 Days a Week, I don't play the bass like McCartney. I play the bass like he played. So when you hear them both in unison, I like the way we do it better, actually.
And I believe they call that a cover.
Yes, they do.
A cover doesn't necessarily mean playing the song exactly the way the original artist wrote it.
I would just like to take this 1 second here, and for all our Hispanic listeners out there, I just want to say, estás escuchando el podcast Rock and Roll Chicago.
All right. I didn't know you had that in you.
I got it here on the computer.
I don't have it in me either, so don't feel bad.
Yeah, no, it was funny. I was listening to that, and I was just thinking to myself, if you saw me kind of giggle a little bit in the middle of your song, as I was thinking to myself, boy, there is a huge Spanish or just Latin influence in this song. And then you started counting in Spanish. And I was like,
that was actually my idea.
Well, that was actually a mistake. When I taught it to John, in order for him to get back into the song, I started counting, but I did it in English.
Right.
And when we recorded the song the first time, I said, "Hey, well, you're doing it in a Latin way." I said, "Why not count in Spanish?"
In Spanish,
it sounds,
of course, right?
It just fits the song better, I think.
Oh yeah, I think if it was in there as a mistake, I mean, it was good leaving.
It's a happy mistake
because it totally went.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, totally went. Had a lot of. I was picking up sounds of like rare earth and stuff like that as well. That's
it's fun.
He's constantly getting dirty. Are you kidding me?
It's funny you say that because I've been told, and even when I started to get together with JAD, that we remind people of bands from the 60s.
And they so
early
forget
70s.
us so easily, you know?
And it's funny because, when it comes to songwriting, I was influenced by the Beatles. When it comes to singing, and I long grew out of it, I was influenced by Elvis. And sometimes it still shows depending on the type of song that I sing, but I eventually got out of that to where I can present my own voice to people. And I tell people, I says, I don't like to categorize what my songs are. I let everybody else hear and let them, and like you said, you can hear the Spanish. I wasn't thinking about it because when I wrote this song, I was just playing around with the scale.
Sure.
I was just going. And, when I showed it to my other partner, he's the one who came up with the day parts.
Okay.
And then and following that, I'm the one who came up with the faster part that we do.
Okay.
So that's how the song actually came. It was an instrumental when it started out. It was called Myra's Song.
Okay. Okay.
But it was just me actually playing with the scale.
Did Myra just like piss you off and you said,
No.
There's still litigation going on right now.
No. And so I showed it to him. And like I said, he's the one that did he's the one that came up with the day parts, and then I'm the one who followed with the more up, So like with the going to the playa, eating some papaya, that faster part is me. Where the other slower part, it was actually him.
Okay.
And the opening of the song with the bass, I came up with that. Repeating his day, such a fine day. I came up with that too when we were recording it because I was kind of feeling left out when we were recording. I didn't want to sit there be playing bass,
Right?
Because when we originally were going to do the song, we just started off with both of us starting simultaneously, and I thought, wouldn't it be kind of cool to have a bass opening for it? You don't see a lot of rock and roll songs with bass opening, so I thought that'd be kind of cool to do that. And then he chimes in, and the rest of the song kicks off.
Right.
So.
Unless you're Jack White in the White Stripes.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not that good. I wish I were.
Yeah. So how many songs do you guys have written?
Ooh.
That many.
Wow.
Actually, it's funny that you asked that. We actually wrote a song based on Day. We mentioned Margarita. I wrote lyrics to a song called Margarita. That was actually the first song him and I wrote together. And today we still perform it. It's a tongue in cheek. Am I talking about a beautiful woman or am I talking about a drink?
Well, play it.
You want?
Yeah.
let's hear it.
Yeah. Like I said, when it comes to songs, if I was to pick by myself, I have anywhere from 150 to 200 written.
Wow.
Any ones that, as with my other partner, probably another 25 to 50. With John, probably somewhere near 50 to 100.
Wow.
It all depends,
Well, we could be here all night.
Well, we could.
Welcome to day 3.
This song is called Margarita.
Yeah.
Margarita. Yes.
Margarita.
Right?
All right. We should have told you before, you don't have to sing right in the microphone. You have to talk right in the microphone. But if you get right here and sing and your voice goes louder, your voice is going to overpower everything. So you can back off the microphone when you're singing because we need the microphones to also pick up the guitars and all that stuff in the room. So I am going to put this right at the bass though. So, because that's the instrument that you're going to hear the least.
That's true. Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Margarita, Margarita, is she just a dream or the whiskey in my glass? Light as heaven seems, the pain is just first class. It was always raining, and now it even snowed. There is no complaining, 'cause now the sunshine shows. Margarita, Margarita, how I love you, Margarita. Margarita, Margarita, how I love you, Margarita. Margarita, Margarita, Margarita. next I feel we're through. Margarita, tell me, is this true? Margarita, Margarita, how I love you, Margarita. Margarita, Margarita, how I love you, Margarita. Margarita, 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 if you hear me now. Margarita, how I love you now. Margarita, Margarita, how I love you, Margarita. Margarita, Margarita, how I love you, Margarita. Margarita, 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 Margarita. Is she just a dream or the whiskey in my glass?
All right. Hey, have you guys ever heard of the band The Iguanas?
I think I've heard of that band. Yeah.
That song just kind of brought it home for me. I was trying to think from the last song, and then
I thought he was going to leave.
Yeah,
Gone.
I got it figured out. The Iguanas were a band that they actually opened up for Jimmy Buffett quite often, or at least a lot, I should say, over his career. And I saw them at oh gosh, what's the place in Berwyn?
Fitzgerald's.
That's it. I saw them at Fitzgerald's a couple of times, and I have a couple of their albums, and the music is just like sit back, relax, chill, drink some rum.
And all I have to say after that is tomemos todos una margarita.
There you go.
Gesundheit.
There you go.
But that's you guys have that sound. It's a really cool, like relaxing.
It is
laid back kind of
like
sound.
a beach sound.
When I was trying to put the music together for this, I had to look at his lyrics, and at one time
Look at my chicken scratch.
and to tell you the truth, I had to break it completely. A lot of the lyrics are from what he wrote, but I had to arrange them in a certain way, and
you got to make them fit the melody line.
And then
because I usually write a lot of words, and he's taken an encyclopedia to my lyrics sometimes.
And then I even with the beginning, and so when I did my nephew was in the room with me because I was actually, he was out of school that day. This was written, about 10 years
Why do you think
back.
I sing the backup?
I was going to say, I was going to guess.
I had to imitate his nephew.
Nephew was in the background making fun of Uncle going,
No, actually,
exactly.
That's kind of funny, but no, my nephews actually, they like what I do, and they come in. And so my nephew started to do the margarita part with me. And I told John, this is what my nephew did. I don't know if you like it, but this, and so.
You don't know what it took me to go, margarita,
So that extra margarita that he
Swift
says
kick,
in there is that's what he does. Because my nephew, and so I told John, I said, hey, my nephew did this. I don't know if you like it, then do it. If not, I'm not worried.
See, back then, I sounded like this back then.
I'm guessing it didn't take a lot. I mean, because he's done it like 6 or 7 times
already.
He's like, I'm going to do it.
I'm used to the pain now.
So where are you guys playing? I'm wondering what venues are booking you guys. You said you guys had a busy year, right?
We just got
We're doing a lot of Irish pubs, believe it or not. We've already done 2, and we did one actually last week. It's the Irish Rebel and Oak Lawn.
Okay,
and we played in the city back in August.
We did Fuller's
Pub.
Okay,
both Irish pubs.
We did Fuller's. We did Gallery. We did Gallery a couple times. We're ending this year with another show that we're doing at a tapestry at a church that Flash goes to. So this will be our second show there. So we're ending the year, and then we're hoping that 2024 is
be even bigger year for us. We're hoping.
You've got anything booked yet for 20?
Not yet. But we're working on it right now.
You got some favorite places you like to play?
I would like to go back to Fuller's.
Yeah.
I would like to go back.
I
to
would like
Fuller's.
to us to. I'm a little more ambitious. I like to get us into the Cubby Bear.
Yeah,
That would be it. But
yeah,
it's a pipe dream. I know, but still.
yeah,
No, not necessarily.
Yeah.
yeah. That's a good one too. Yeah, and
Is there still 2 locations? I think there's the Cubby Bear by Wrigley, and then isn't there a Cubby Bear in Lincolnshire as well?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
I know there used to be. I can't remember if the one in Lincolnshire is still
Yeah,
open.
there used to be. I'm not sure.
Well, the one thing that Shaggy and I have because Shaggy grew up listening to different kind of music than I did. I mean, believe it or not, Barry Manilow taught me how to sing.
Dude, okay, let me tell you this right now. Barry Manilow's my moped.
Okay,
Barry Manilow's the moped. You know, they're cool. You know, you don't want your friends to see you with one.
but here's the thing. But that Barry Manilow taught me how to sing, but Billy Joel and the Beatles taught me how to harmonize.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
So but the thing that him and I have in common is the Beatles.
Yeah.
Both of our love, we him and I love the Beatles so much that we're both willing to put aside our other references just to play a Beatles song. We love playing that.
Yeah.
That.
You know, that's strange because I taught myself pretty much how to play the piano by buying the Billy Joel anthology songbook and learning how to play it cover to cover. That was pretty much it.
But
Yeah.
it's funny. We actually do play a Billy Joel
Yeah.
song on our set. We play
I
My
do too.
Life. We play My Life.
Okay.
And
With this gentleman here on guitar.
I play an acoustic version of Captain Jack.
Wow. That's impressive.
And it's actually a very easy song to play, but you don't think acoustic guitar when you think Billy Joel. So
Well,
Give me some thoughts now.
No, I told John. John was like, "Well, a lot of these songs are for piano." I said, "John, please."
yeah, right.
Oh, I know better now. Anything can be converted. Sure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You can certainly do that. And that came completely by accident because somebody kept saying, play a Billy Joel song, And my response was the same thing. Well, that's really piano music. And then the guy came up and dropped a $50 bill in the tip jar. Okay, we're going to come up with some Billy Joel music.
I say that's a good incentive.
And what's so easy about it is it's Every Rose Has Its Thorn. Play Every Rose Has Its Thorn and just sing the words and melody to Captain Jack.
I got to remember that one.
Yeah, but no, it's that's interesting. Billy Joel
And to answer your question,
and Barry Manilow.
there is only one Cubby Bear.
There is only one. So the one in Lincolnshire did close.
Must have.
That's where they used to, if you remember back in the 90s, after the Bears games on Sundays, they would always have Peanut Tillman would always be on a radio show.
Right.
That was done at the Cubby Bear in Lincolnshire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that would be nice because I have a brother who's a stand-up comic, and I think he's done the Cubby Bear for whatever nights that they have those type of routines, and that's been a big one of mine for the last few years.
Right. I went to a place yesterday. A friend of mine invited me to a place called Johnny Cabs. It's located over in like Burr Ridge.
Oh.
And he asked me to go out for their open mic night. And I went. It's probably not the venue that I would want my band to play, but you guys should look into that venue. I think you guys do really well there. It's a restaurant more than a bar. Higher end, real classy place, full PA and everything. But the people that were there were just loving trios getting up there, playing music very similar to yours. There was a guy that played a lot of Jimmy Buffett. There was another guy that did a lot of country, and that's the music that went over really well there.
Yeah, I did do. There's a club downtown. It has the same name as this one movie that's based on a club in New York. I can't remember it. It was so long ago.
He closed it.
Wow.
So that's why
I had loved the atmosphere because the guys they had a jazz feel. Flash here, he's pretty jazz and blues influence, and I think that adds to what we have.
Our version of My Life is very jazzy.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
He's playing the piano riff on the guitar, and I'm adding the bass half on the bass, and with Shaggy's playing drums, and it's a really, really great version.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I think maybe that should be the cover that they do.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Switcheroo.
Why don't you take us out with that song?
Yeah, I think that should be the cover. Yeah, I think you piqued everybody's interest.
Yeah, that's right. At least ours.
Do
Yeah,
I
right.
make my apologies now?
And right now,
I mean, go ahead. It's your life.
It is my life.
and right now we are everybody. So
That's right. That's right. We've got to put one of those in front of the guitar, and Ray can swing his microphone over there. There we go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Got a call from an old friend, we used to be real close. Said he couldn't go on the American way. Closed the shop, sold the house, bought a ticket to the West Coast. Now he gives them a stand-up routine in LA. I don't need you to worry for me, 'cause I'm alright. I don't want you to tell me it's time to come home. I don't care what you say anymore, this is my life. Go ahead with your own life, leave me alone. I never said you had to offer me a second chance. I never said I was a victim of circumstance. I still belong. I still belong. Don't get me wrong. You can speak your mind, but not on my time. They will tell you you can't sleep alone in a strange place. Then they tell you you can't sleep with somebody else. Oh, but sooner or later you sleep in your own space. Either way, it's okay, you wake up with yourself. I don't need you to worry for me, 'cause I'm alright. I don't want you to tell me it's time to come home. I don't care what you say anymore, this is my life. Go ahead with your own life, leave me alone. I never said you had to offer me a second chance. I never said you had. No, 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 I never said I was a victim of circumstance. I still belong. I still belong. So, don't get me wrong. You can speak your mind, but not on my time. I don't care what you say anymore, this is my life. Go ahead with your own life, leave me alone. Keep it to yourself, it's my life. Keep it to yourself, it's my life. Why? Keep it to yourself, it's my life. Keep it to yourself, it's my life.
Boy, that's not easy to play on guitar, is it?
no.
He doesn't even make it look easy.
No. That was good. Thank you.
Absolutely. So how do people find you?
Usually with a magnifying glass.
Okay, very good.
Only me though.
With the sun.
He's microscopic. Okay.
You guys have a website?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have a YouTube page. We have a Facebook page. We have a
Reverb Nation page. We're just about everywhere on social media.
for YouTube, probably the best page to see because
Yeah.
all our live videos are on there. Every time we play a gig, we try to get it on video if we can.
What about the music you recorded? Is that available anywhere?
Yeah, I have. We do have stuff on the internet, but usually what we do is email us, and we can usually work something out, whether we do something electronic or CD or what have you.
Nothing's uploaded to Reverb Nation or anything?
We have some stuff, but it's our older stuff. We haven't done anything really with Flash. Right now, we are working on a project to bring nothing but original songs. Where the people who like us, they can get a taste of everything that we do. So like, there's gonna be a lot of
I even brought some samples for today to leave with you guys. Plus a business card that actually has the YouTube page link and all that. So
excellent, good.
Cool, very good.
Good.
Well, alrighty, guys, thanks for coming out.
Thank you for having us.
Very unique sound.
Thank you again.
The JAD and Shaggy and
Trio.
Flash.
And Flash.
Now we're the JAD and Shaggy and Flash.
And Flash. That's it.
Officially the JAD and Shaggy Trio.
Yeah.
All right, thanhanks a lot.
Thank you.
Well, that was a very interesting interview.
That was.
They got a unique sound.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect. I definitely don't think I expected that.
No, not at all.
Yeah, they had a much more of a Latin influence than they originally let on.
And beachy, like you said, that one song,
Yeah.
Margaritas, sound a little beachy, like it could be at a bar in Key West or something, and they'd be playing.
Right.
Yeah.
Just sit back, chill, have a martini or a glass of wine kind of music. Yeah.
Definitely. So if you like them guys out there, you heard a few of their songs, plus a cover, contact them. They can get some music to you.
Yeah. JAD and Shaggy
Trio. With Flash. That's right. So, alrighty then.
About Flash.
As always, thank you for listening, and check us out every Tuesday for another exciting episode of the Rock and Roll Chicago Podcast. See ya. The Rock and Roll Chicago Podcast is edited by Paul Martin. Theme song courtesy of M&R Rush. The Rock and Roll Chicago Podcast does not own the rights to any of the music heard on the show. The music is used to promote the guests that are featured.
Rock and roll Chicago.